Hi everybody. Today I will show you how Magnolia and IBM Marketing Cloud integration is working. As any good connector, this connector which we are introducing today is hidden behind the scene and you will not see it working directly. So in order to show you the application, I will show you what we do in Magnolia. And then in another window inside of the IBM Marketing Cloud database, formerly known as Silverpop, I will show you how the results are changing or what's happening to the data that we are sending behind the scene. So to start this demo, as for many other marketing tools application, when you want to start tracking the users or when you want to start tracking what people are doing on your website, you need people to somehow opt in for the data, for give you some information about themselves. To do that, we have shared the forms that you can create in various databases in Silverpop. And allowed the web teams to basically just go select the Silverpop connector and from the connector pick in any kind of the database that they might have access. So right now I change it. Use the share database instead of the real database, and you will observe that the fields which are pulled in from Silverpop are actually changing. So let me proceed with that form. I will add there myself, and I will say that maybe I'm interested in surfing. I will submit the data about myself, and as soon as the information is submitted, we can go back to Silverpop and we can check in the shared database that I'm recorded there as a new contact. If I look for the people, there you see that I have opted in today at 2:50, which is exactly the time when I'm recording this. And I have some information recorded about myself, for example, that I prefer surfing over anything else. You can also see here right now that I have some basic score assigned to my person, which is of 120 points. And that actually brings me to another piece of information here. What we do is that we are sending all the information about what user is doing back to Silverpop. So I'll be browsing the pages right now, looking at different things, and all that information is coming back to the Silverpop, and Silverpop is recording that information. So now, after looking at few pages, if I go back to Silverpop and refresh the page, you can see that my score grew from 100 to 130. That's because the information about or 150 even now, you see the information is a little bit delayed. It takes time before the cloud processes every info that we send over. So you see that the information is actually sent over from Magnolia to Silverpop, and in Silverpop you can set up different automated processes that based on the information we send, it might send another email, it might enroll user in the drip campaign, it might change some other values in the user database for a given user. Another thing which we also do at this case is that as soon as the user opts in, and what I was showing you was just a single opt-in, but you can also configure double opt-in when another confirmation is sent to user either via email or via text message. And what we do in this case is that we also store the cookie about the user. That's the same Silverpop cookie which is stored for any other sites powered by Silverpop. So as soon as the user opted in elsewhere, we will already know who that user is, what he does, what he likes, where he's registered, and Silverpop will know as well. And we are able to go back and show that user. So if I go back to my subscribe form, you will see that it remembers, yes, it's me, and it also knows that I opted for surfing. So to sum it up, you can enroll the users via Magnolia, either via a single or double opt-in. You can record information about those users, for example, when letting them to download case studies or information about destinations. In this case, since we are looking at the travel demo, Magnolia will track all the information and send it to Silverpop, so you can also look for the things like form fulfillment abandonment or the shopping cart abandonment, etc. All the things that you want to track, that you want to know in order to improve your website. And you can also automatically add those users who enroll in the contact list in Silverpop, and you can inform them about the changes on the website. So that being said, I want to show you another feature that we have integrated in, and that's personalization. So if you look right now, you will see that I have various personalization for the homepage, and those personalizations are actually using the information from Silverpop. So if I look at the audience, you can see that I'm actually looking at the trade that is reading the tours information from Silverpop, and based on the value which user selected as their preferred type of tours, we are actually choosing the different variants, ones for Safari, ones for Taste of Malaysia, ones for Vietnam. If you want to see how that looks like or how it works, we can look at the preview. And in the preview right now, you see that the default user, the one Magnolia or Silverpop doesn't know anything about, will see the Swiss Alps as the backdrop of their homepage on the travel demo website. But if I emulate the user who is interested in surfing, that would be me, I should see every time I come to the website, I should see the backdrop on my homepage being a surfer. If I was interested in Malaysia or in Asia in general, I would see the backdrop being some restaurant in Malaysia. Similarly, if I said I'm interested in Vietnam, I would see backdrop from Vietnam. Of course, the personalization is not limited to backdrop. You can also do other things. You can change the content completely. You can enable user in different things. You can show them whatever you are interested in. Another information that we are able to store is basically any of the recipient column values, but we have also other personalization, which is, for example, we can look at your contact score. You might remember there as a user in Silverpop, my score could have been low, medium, or high. That's again the setting which you can do in Silverpop. And for my high setting, or based on that setting, I could also personalize the pages here. Not only those two fields are available, but really every field in the database. So if I go again back in here and choose another audience, you can see that I can add another recipient column value trait, which will allow me to choose any and all of the fields that are configured in my Silverpop database. Just for comparison, let's go here. And if I look at all the fields which are defined, here are all the fields that are defined and all the fields that I can use. Similarly, like in the personalization, I can use those fields also when filling the form. As you can see, if I go back to the subscription page, in the subscription page originally I had just email and tours fields, but if I want to, I can also add another field. So via this special layout field in the Silverpop, I can add, for example, I had a test field, so I can add this test field, save. And if I go to Magnolia and refresh this page, you see that suddenly I have the extra test field in my form, and so on. I can keep adding the fields, I can reorder the fields in the form. I can do this also from Magnolia, so in the next version of the connector, we will be exposing the functionality for adding and reordering the fields directly in Magnolia Silverpop connector. But right now you can do that from the marketing tool, so the people who are in charge of your lead generation and storing information about the users can actually manipulate the data directly without having to go back to the website editors and asking them about changing the website or adding extra fields or reordering the fields just in order to increase fulfillment of different forms on the website. So that would be about personalization. And the last thing which I wanted to show you is that we can also publish pages through Magnolia and Silverpop. So for example, if I go to the destination page here and I look at it in the preview mode, you see this is my destination page and I have two extra actions here on the right side. I can publish this page to Silverpop. I already did that previously, so I published it as a template name with very telling name, foobar. I set the title for the newsletter. I set the from and reply to address. I sent the source for all the links from this email. This source is then used to show or to point users back to your website. You can choose either any of the public instances of Magnolia, or you can use any of the configured sites, depending what's the target that you prefer. You can also set the tracking level on those emails. You can set the visibility. So that's that. Once the page is published as a template in Silverpop, you can directly select that page and you can send it as a newsletter from Magnolia via Silverpop. Here you can use any of the databases or the contact list which you have in Silverpop. You can also use any of the saved queries, should you have any. In this case, I will use my share database. I will not set the publishing date because I want to publish it immediately. And I will send this. You see, Magnolia even provides me a link to actually log me in and allow me to select or look at the campaign directly, but I will go through my other window and I will look at the sent mailings. And here you see that right now at 3 p.m. I have sent the foobar newsletter. I can have a look at the details of the newsletter, to whom it have been sent, etc. How it looks like. It doesn't look so great inside of the Silverpop view because it's using the inner frame. But if I look at my email, I should be able to see the email. So you see right now I have already got the email, and if I open it, I get the very nice page, the same page that I have been seeing in Magnolia. I get then in my email and I can look at all the information that I need to. And with that, that would be all from me. So thank you very much for watching and stay tuned up for the future updates. Thank you very much. Bye bye.